Hello, universe. Hello, I say now because I'm tired of saying, hey, hey, hey. Not that that matters. Hey, 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 universe. Okay, got one out. I don't know if we're going to get back and rerun that part all over again. We might, but let's just say that I've been giving myself a D grade thus far, and if there's anything I can now, from my last 15 minutes of life experience, say with confidence, it's that surely if you were a character in some 70s sitcom that was, say, let's say a derivative, if not direct creative theft of the sitcom called, fucking A, I can't remember the name of the sitcom with J.J. Walker. What the fuck was the name of it? Oh, that's terrible. Dynamite! Yeah, you got that right. The fuck was that called? Come on, man. Okay, I have to channel my 7, 8, 9-year-old self. I'm down watching One Day at a Time because I have a crush on Valerie Bertinelli, and I don't even know what a crush is yet, but I know I also have one on Farrah Fawcett. And Valerie Bertinelli's my brunette, and Farrah Fawcett's my blonde, and I'm going to pick a redhead here soon, and she's going to be probably that 13-year-old girl from the Love Boat. But all of these embarrassments aside, what comes on after One Day at a Time? Is it Good Times? Is Good Times? And then what's happening? Well, I'm not nearly as cool as J.J. Walker. I'm not as smart as Raj, nor am I as dead motherish as Shirley, or Mrs. Garrett, or Nell, or anybody else that's a dead mother. What I am is white. Oh my God. What I am is miserable. I mean, not miserable. I'm never miserable, but the fact that this is being recorded, that you're listening to it, that this exchange of information, can we even call it that? This exchange of mood deflation that I am somehow forcing into your universe, and you're sitting there receiving it like, oh God, I mean, this is audio podcast content that shouldn't exist. Why am I participating? I just imagine that's the anguish on your face. And I'm right there with you. In fact, I'm so right there with you that should we just call this it? Are we through? Are we breaking up? Should we not do this anymore? I sometimes feel like, at least when you come over and you ask me to say stuff and then I just talk to myself, but you never participate, that maybe I'm becoming too much the editorial voice, the overseeing authority, the undercurrent of counterattack, the groundswell of public support, the heckling from the peanut gallery, the sexiness. Well, wait, when has this ever been sexy? Well, never. So, take sexiness back out of it. But all that other shit, if you think about it, I can see why you say it's not me, it's you. It really is, right? I mean, it's obviously me. I'm here. I'm the only one here. I'm the one talking to myself as if you're the audience responding to me. So while my delusional schizophrenia is here, my delusional schizophrenic is not here. So I don't think I'm ready to end it yet. I mean, call me codependent, call me needy, call me somebody who just can't seem to make a friend other than you. And okay, we don't have to be so harsh here. I just feel like if you can't see the value in what is happening here, well, then that makes 2 of us. And probably 7 of us, if I had to guess. Maybe 6 or 4. All right, 3 if my sister listens. But you, me, and my sister have come to the realization that the only reason you're still here is because if you leave, I won't have anything. I mean, what will I do? What will I do? Will I just play electronic pinball until I get so frustrated I throw my phone across the room because, god damn it, that game cheats? Well, I don't think so. I don't think so. Nope. If I had to guess, if you weren't here, I'd probably be either masturbating or sleeping. Or doing one then the other. I mean, it is kind of a double dip sort of activity, right? Oh, God. What did I... Okay. You brought up sexiness, which is a concept we don't even entertain. Like, that is, if anybody asks you, can you give me a word, just one word, that says what the podcast is not? You haven't been able to tell me a whole lot about what it is, so maybe you could just tell me what it's not. And then I'll know, yeah, I don't have to go toward that. That sounds stupid. Well, it is not historically accurate. And it's not sexy. Now, if that kind of stuff puts you off, well, then, you know, go listen to NPR or something, because they're not historically accurate either, but they're sexy. NPR. That'll turn me on. Okay. At least the bong hit worked, right? If we're going to go somewhere next, well, I think it should be to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Probably one that's in a casino in a random Native American resort, like I'm guessing somewhere in Wisconsin or maybe Iowa. Hell, I'd be up for something like backwoods Pennsylvania. I mean, it has to be something unkept. Unkempt? Unkept. Upkeep not required. In other words, I'm thinking of a thistle, and then I'm thinking of a casino, and then I'm thinking we would go there, but let's not rent a car, because that might ruin the ultimate surprise at the end of this whole recording. Or you've listened to that story already because I have told it, and thus you're the one other human being who has listened to 2 episodes of my podcast, because I know another one who has. So that makes 2 of you. But only 2. Because everybody else listens to 4 minutes and goes, oh, well, it is all his fault. And that's why I'm not going to go listen to any more of that shit. Pause. Unplugged. Unpause. No copyright infringement intended. MTV, so don't come after me for saying this is an unplugged unpause. Because by unplugged, all I meant is, well, I've unplugged the heater, and I think maybe that was a mistake. Because here on May 12th, Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day, all mothers, which I am proudly, well, actually I did make a mother once. I mean, not that I have any kids, but, you know, you do the math, you figure it out. But happy Mother's Day to every single mother currently in existence. I can, with 100% confidence, say you've all done way more than you should have had to do in bringing life and helping that life fulfill its destiny to planet Earth. You are the true Rock of Gibraltar? Wait, no, when we said Rock of Gibraltar, that was Rock of Moneybraltar, if I remember right. So let's call you instead, how about mothers are like the sun, the moon, the stars, and the fresh cut wildflowers that give us all sustenance. The idea that we needed a day to say thanks, Mom, is fucking absurd. And honestly, I can only imagine the disappointment that whatever son of yore went up to his mom and was like, hey, Mom, where's my breakfast? And then Mom's like, it's coming, Rick. Just give me a second. Let me get over here where I can actually wait on you hand and foot instead of you doing something for yourself. And then as she's making omelets, or if I had to guess, I mean, this is a super mom, so it's probably, what? I would say I'd want eggs Benedict, but I don't want ham because I'm a vegetarian, so throw some avocado on there, maybe some extra tomato. And then I need hash browns, but I want them lightly crispy. You know what I mean? Like I want them kind of soft in the middle, but crispy on the outside. But I don't want them crispy. No, that's burned. So, and 3 pieces of rye toast, one of which I want buttered, one of which I want jammed strawberry, one of which I want fresh cut bananas and oranges. And then if you'll make me a cappuccino, I think I can start to feel like maybe I'm getting what I deserve around here. Oh, and Mom, guess what I did today? I called Hallmark and talked them into a holiday called Mother's Day. Yep, here's your card. Pause. Unflattering on pause. Well, I mean, unflattering for that son. I mean, whose fucking idea was it? I get Father's Day. Yeah, we could all take a day out of the year to say, hey, Dad. How you been? Hey. But Mother's Day? Mother's Day. Yeah. Well, you'd have to be one unloving son of a bitch. And I obviously do not mean to call any mother a bitch. But if your idea of contribution on this planet was to come up with the concept of Mother's Day, well, I guess who's coming back to relive that life again, huh? Pause. Uninformed on pause. And I only say uninformed because I really don't know. But if you had to guess, how many cards are sold strictly for Mother's Day? And if you want to extend that to how many floral bouquets are also sold, sometimes I think, okay, let's say I had a business, like I was a florist, but since I wouldn't be a florist, well, I would be a florist, but since I'm not a florist, we'll make my business caricature drawings, okay? So what do I do as a caricature artist? Well, I put out a sign that says, caricature drawings available here, $5, or maybe in today's economy, $55. And people would come over and go, hey, man, are you any good? And I'd be like, hey, that's the first good idea you've given me about how to expand my business. I should draw some caricatures of people you even know, put them up all around me so that you go, whoa, did you see his Brooke Shields? It looks totally like Brooke Shields. Oh, that's Megan Fox? Oh, it doesn't look anything like her. Did you see Transformers? No? You're kind of old. I figured you didn't, but you got to work on your Megan Fox. So that's not Andre Agassi next to her? That's Captain Picard? Dude. And you want $55? Come here, Jenny. We're going to do a caricature. Come on, Jenny. Look at his Picard. Yeah, I thought it was Agassi too. Pause. Unsure of what I'm going to say next. Unpause. Well, no, that's not true. I'm sure of what I'm going to say next. Hello? What I'm going to say next, after next, this next, is, so my caricature drawing business, it's word of mouth so far, and well, I'm able to afford rice and beans. What if occasionally I want to come home with a cheesecake? Well, maybe I should think of something that would make people want to get caricatures, because if there was a desire for wanting caricatures, then seek out caricature artists these people would, and me being a caricature artist with a current caricature drawing business could possibly generate enough profit to bring home the Sara Lee cherry cheesecakes. But what do I do to make people want caricatures? Who wants a caricature unless you're at Knott's Berry Farm or Knott's Berry Farm 2? Wasn't there 2 of those? I don't know. But Disneyland? Nah, maybe. But Knott's Berry Farm? Yep, get me some caricature. There were like 7 of them in a row, if I remember right. But having only had a caricature drawn twice, I'm coming at you with a little bit of customer side input of true sourcing, but mostly I'm just making shit up. So if I think of people who want caricatures, well, what do I think of? I think of elementary school kids who are coming out of a bouncy castle, completely over-sugared on some kind of brownies that they ate. Oh, they ate the brownies? Seriously? Well, no wonder they're all fucked up like that. Who fought to give them the brownies? Of course they are brownies! Where else would I bring brownies unless I was bringing brownies? You fucking gave the kids the brownies? The fuck am I gonna eat? Ha! Funny, yeah. Go get yourself a corn dog. Fuck you. Pause. Unpause. Alright. So the kids ate the brownies, right? So now who wants to do a caricature of them anyway? They won't even sit still for 2 minutes. So instead of my caricature business expanding through elementary school bouncy castle play days, where kids are sugar high on brownies, well, what if I got somebody like, say, who's got enough reputation? Taylor Swift. What if I got Taylor Swift to do a promotional news story about how much fun she and her mother had going to Knott's Berry Farm and having caricatures drawn? That if any Swiftie wanted to celebrate Mother's Day like Taylor did herself, they should go get caricatures with their moms. Yeah. Whoa. That would be good for business. But, I don't have a whole lot of influence with the media. I'm kind of still working on getting my caricature artist business going, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to spread out and diversify and get myself on social media. In fact, I don't even want to have a smartphone. I've decided today that I really do need to get rid of my smartphone forever. That's just a dumb thing to have in life. And because of that, that means I'm really unlikely to ever start social media now. And given that the only thing that I allow the universe to judge me by is the insane ranting of these episodes and recordings I call a podcast, well, yeah. Taylor Swift caricatures. Yeah, that's what this is. That's where we are now. You're here with me. And after the insane number of downloads that people have been actively engaging over the last 2 weeks, well, it was time for me to throw a little fucking reality at you. Listening to this is dumb. I listen to these, so I know what I'm talking about. Hell, I fucking record them. So I doubly know what I'm talking about. And since I play almost every character that shows up on this thing, well, you can just say that the whole community here, well, we're convinced that you're doing the wrong thing. And it's not that I don't get the need to chillax, have some distraction. Maybe right now you're planting a vegetable garden and you just got tired of listening to Meatloaf sing about dramatic situations that he'll never be in because he's Meatloaf. So you toddle over to the podcast app that you use, I'm guessing it's not Spotify or you've been listening to Joe Rogan. I'm guessing it's something like Dog Catcher or AntennaPod or some other free app that has 4.5 stars or more in the reviews that you think, well, okay, maybe this will be entertaining. On that app, somehow you stumbled into this, and now you've given, I don't even want to think about how many seconds of your life to listening to me. I don't know. I don't know if you're making good decisions, if I'm being honest. I am not criticizing you. I mean, other than just having criticized you. But I don't mean to make you feel like there's something that you're doing wrong. Except I do think there are things you're doing wrong. So wait a second. All right. But if I say to you that I think you're fucking up your life currently, right now, by listening to me, but then I doubly think you're fucking up your life because what you go listen to next isn't going to be a whole lot better. Unfortunately, this reality that we're sharing right here, yeah, that's kind of all you can expect these days. A bunch of nonsense that you think after you've exchanged the activity at hand. Why the fuck did I do that? Why do I even leave my house anymore? Why do I talk to anyone? Why do I even make eye contact? Why am I not sitting at home, looking at my phone, thinking, I can't wait till my food gets here. Pause. Popular on pause. Not that the unpause, well, my unpauses probably are pretty unpopular, but I'm not calling you unpopular. Don't confuse the idea that you're doing something that I think you shouldn't be, which is listening to me, with the idea that that could make you unpopular. Well, actually, that really could make you unpopular. So if that's something you worry about, right now, stop. Just stop. Go do something else. Go play an arcade game. Go buy an arcade game. Go design an arcade game. Go to the arcade. If I waste enough of your time, will you realize that your life has purpose, meaning, and destiny? And it's only going to be found if you're willing to go adventure as the soul energy meat sack suit wearing human being that you manifested as on this planet by listening to your internal intuition and instincts that whole world of opportunity is beckoning you to fulfill it. Or you could sit here and talk to me about TV shows I can barely remember, and I could tell you how white I am. Kind of up to you. Seriously. Every fucking second is up to you to make something brilliant of your chance to manifest on planet Earth 8675309 version. Believe it or not, and you do not have to believe this, but it is true. Manifesting here and going through this series of recording diatribes with the vigor and repetitive nature of my chatterbox continuing to speak to the ethereal is kind of why I'm here. I get a lot out of this. I get so much out of this, I'm stunned that I get that much out of it. Even if I went into this thinking, I wonder how much I could possibly get out of this, that would be like the most I could expect to get out of it. What would that look like? Yeah, it would look a lot like the Nuggets winning the championship last year. Because who thought that would ever happen? Who thought that would ever be so great? Who even thought that the Nuggets were in the playoffs, let alone had a chance to win it all? Well, at 5 o'clock tonight when they play the Minnesota Timberwolves and get waxed and go down 1-3, I won't be such a Nuggets fan. But for now, NBA, yay. See what I'm doing? Wasting your time. Nobody is a Nuggets fan. So the last 30 seconds of conversation mattered to not a single other person listening. Not one. So there is that Nuggets fan at the Atomic Cowboy. So aside from Jake, who I admit is a fucking Nuggets fan, nobody else listening to this would have had any interest in what just happened. Here, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go get Hegel's Phenomenology of Spirit, and I'm going to read you a sentence. Pause. Unbelievable. Unpause. Seriously, I can't believe you're still here. I just told you I was going to go get Phenomenology of Spirit, a book written by a man named Hegel, and those concepts alone should be enough for your, I got to go do something else, energy to start erupting. So, can you please get on with that eruption so I can have a little time to read Hegel by myself? Okay, fine. If you're going to stay, then you know what we're going to do? We're going to go back in time. I'm going to play the 2 recordings from Thursday, Friday, which I think amount to about 12 minutes of losing my mind, and then losing it even further, and then finding it and thinking, oh, that's where I left my mind. And then realizing, wait a second, I don't have a mind. I don't have a matter. I'm just soul energy that is in love with my opportunity to manifest here and tell you, you don't love yourself enough. Because if you did, you wouldn't be listening to this. It's just clear as day that there's got to be some self-loathing if you're participating in this whole exchange. It just has to be. Pause. Merhaba, universe. Merhaba. I say hello to you from, well, in the language of Arabic, which at this precise moment in time feels remarkably appropriate. So, merhaba, universe. Merhaba, I believe. But you know me, I'm an American, so I'm much more likely to be getting that wrong than right. But the intention, my intention is always good. And in this case, it's extremely good. For the people of the Arabic-speaking nations, they need to know some Americans see what we're up to and know that there's better to be done on our side of the fence. And this problem is finally roosting enough that maybe something can be done. But this is America, so for many reasons that we'll get into here, getting something done over here is not as easy as it should be. But we're trying, and believe me, our intentions, well, in this instance, they are very good. Pause. However, the weed situation, whoa, pause. I'm down, pause. Okay, I've got a little bit of green left. It's not doing anything. But today I went and got one more propane torch because I thought, well, all that resin sitting in the base of my silicone bong, that's probably 2 weeks worth of getting high. Now, that's 2 weeks of getting stoned, which is what I am right now. I am uniquely stoned. You never hear me high like, let's order a pizza high, but dude, where's my car? That's the kind of high we're talking tonight. So, I know. And it'll be like 2 weeks for this. So, what you gonna do, right? Pause. Well, unpause. If you're smart, you're gonna stop right here. Because your life means so much more than listening to this inanity on a podcast. If you can't figure out something that your life needs right now that's more important than listening to the next 14 to 140 minutes of me, then reinvestigate your life and simplify it. Go down to the basics. There's something really like, when was the last time you took a walk? When was the last time you ate a fresh salad? When was the last time you organized your junk drawer? When was the last time you thought about the painting scheme in your bathroom and how you could improve it? There are thousands of projects waiting for you to imagine and to understand are improvements to your life waiting to happen. But you've got to engage. And while there may be some engagement here that's got value, it's transient at best. This whole project is so that whoever this one person is in the universe that needs to hear what I have to say so that they can relay that they have come to understand themselves in a way that I will recognize and thus be done with my project. Well, until that occurrence, I will persist. But if you already know that's not you, then my best advice is the better you is waiting to emerge. All you have to do is think that you are worth it. So you can go grab the better life that's right there to be had. There. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Booyah! For the rest of you on pause that hung around, I said, why? Why do you not love yourself as much as you should? Think about that. And I'll be back. Pause. Pause. Okay, I'm just going to start this time with telling you, you got to speed me up if you're listening to me, because now at this point I figure you are listening to me, and that's your fault, because I've told you in many ways that you should be doing something better with your days, but since you're deciding this is what you're going to do, at least put me at 1.75 or 2.0 or 2.25 or 2.5 or even 3.0 speed, because you'll see that I talk rather slowly, and so there's no reason for you to put up with my pause, my hums, my huzzs, my looking for words. All that stuff is just me on delay, and that's me talking. So speed me up, and you get some time back. That's a deal we'll make, and I promise it'll come rewarding for you the most. Okay, pause, unpause. And since it's 4:20, and I'm stoned, I gotta remind you that I love myself to the point of complete max out understanding that I have the full realization of what it is to love oneself entirely. And you don't. I'm not trying to hold this over your head. I'm saying you can migrate to where I am. And that is the biggest difference between having a fulfilling life and having the life you have currently. And I know when I say you don't love yourself enough, you're like, fuck you, buddy. That's the dumbest advice I've ever heard. But if you persist with me, you'll come to see that it actually is what I mean. And I'm right. Pause. Which is why, as I proved at the end of the last recording, I am the least achieving American currently manifesting as an American. Of the 339 million of us, I am 339 millionth on a list of achieving Americans. Go listen to the end of the last one, you'll see. But you don't have to, you can just trust me. That's where I sit. And yet, I fucking love myself. I know, isn't that crazy? I know. Most people think it's insane. I just think it's crazy. Kind of nutty. Well, I think it's normal. I mean, it's me. What am I going to do? Pause. Pause, and that's my point. You are what you are. If in your emergence as the true you, you prove to be the 339 millionth American out of 339 million Americans, well, so what? The true you came here to manifest as the true you, not to manifest as the most achieving American. Whatever coincidental lists happen to be populated therein, and your placement on them, well, that's just what it is. You can only live for yourself, not for what looks like it might be a good life. Oh, what kind of dumbass mistake would that be? A big dumbass mistake. That's what kind. Pause. Good morning, audience. For once, I speak not to the universe, but to you. If for some reason you're listening to this, in whatever format you are, there is a play speed adjustment indicator that will allow you to at least get to 2 times speed. Do it. And if you can't tolerate 2 times speed yet, you will be able to soon enough, starting at 1.75, 1.7, somewhere in that range. Once you have listened to 10 minutes of me at double speed, you'll realize how slowly I speak. And you'll just think, well, what was I wasting all that time before with, This is the one time I'm giving you back a gift that only you can appreciate. More free time. Something we all deserve. Listen to me at double time. Do something that you didn't want to be doing in the first place while you listen to me. And you'll knock 2 things off your list that are on your frustration list if you don't. Pause. But, pause. You have to be comfortable being who you are. And many of us in America just cannot be comfortable being who we are because so much of being who we are does not work, at least doesn't fit directly in, or at least it has a lot of friction with the American way. Because you can't be kind and understanding and forgiving in America. This is a dog-eat-dog world, baby. And I'm not going to say I'm wearing milk-bone underwear, but if I were, well, what would I be doing? That would be uncomfortable. Pause. Okay, to give credit where credit is due, that's from a Cheers episode where I believe Norm sits down at the stool and says that's how he's doing on his way into the bar. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, Sammy, and I'm wearing milk-bone underwear. But I could be wrong, but I'm trying to at least attribute that thought to somebody who actually came up with it, because I certainly didn't. I just put it in my
tailpipe and smoked it a little bit and then said, well, that would be uncomfortable still. Pause. Okay, and put it in my tailpipe and smoked it a little bit would be a reference to a Cheech and Chong movie if I had to guess, but I don't know. So at this point, I'm going to stop doing anything derivative and try to be original. But you know how it is in America. What original thought is left over here? Pause. I know one original thought. Now, I've told the story of how I got a felony before, but I did kind of just drop that one into the list of things that make me the least achieving American of all time without actually explaining myself. And since it's not murder, I don't think. I mean, it wasn't that I remember. But anyway, my felony is the dumbest felony of all time, but I'm happy to share it because I don't want you to think that anything about me is, well, I guess in its own way, this one is rather, well, I don't know. We'll see what you think. Pause and unpause. I'm not going to tell that one right now. I'm going to tell it later at the end of the episode, but not like as a tease for you to listen. I've already told you not to listen. You're the idiot that's going to continue listening. So I'm going to finish with the story that has at least some meat on the bone in terms of its entertainment value, because what happens between now and then could be anything, and most likely will be failure. But we'll see. Hope for the best, right? Pause. Pause. And I am probably getting more and more unpopular with plumbers, since for some reason I double-dipped on my plumbing fantasy of poorness, and I'm so sorry, plumbers. I don't intend to call you out twice, but my point being made there was so effective that I made it twice because I thought I made it the first time but then deleted that part. But no, I put that in and then I put it in again. So that makes me look like I'm really picking on the plumbers, when I just thought I made a salient point across the workforce, and using you as an example twice looks like I'm picking on you. I wasn't. But, you know, I could see where you'd take it that way. So that's why I'm telling you. I didn't intend it that way, and I'm sorry it came out that way, because now I have to defend myself against plumbing forbearance in the future, and I did not necessarily create this situation intentionally, so I will do my best to make it up to you, plumbers. You guys are the backbone of America, and we all know it, so this little tribute to the plumbers is over. Pause. Wow. I'm so embarrassed about that part with the plumbers. Wow. Pause. Unpause. Okay, unpause. In the name of continuity, I don't think I'm done figuring out money by any means, nor am I done figuring out basic society. So it's not like that isn't a continuing part of what I really am trying to zero in on, sort of like the whole concept of a Dyson sphere. I posed this question as my preliminary introduction to why I think we're a Dyson sphere. And that is, why is the center of the Earth the hottest place in the solar system? Hotter than the star. That doesn't make sense, unless we are a star. And if we are a star, imagine that we are the source of an energy contraptment of particle alignment that is manufacturing water. We sit in the perfect situation to have liquid water. That's the rarity of our situation. And we have been harnessed to produce such a resource, and what is happening in the interior of the Earth is we are creating huge reservoirs of water that eventually explode to the surface and create the great floods of myth and lore. That's what's happening. Now, how can I prove that? I don't know. But that's what's happening. Pause. Pause. And what I believe is going to happen right about now is one of these huge explosions of water. And I think what it does is it actually creates more landmass that exposes itself through the cracks in the bottom of the ocean, and we end up with more volume across planet Earth. In other words, Earth is growing, and that's how it accommodates these generations of water that emerge from whatever is combusting into aqua down below the crust of our Earth, powered by the star that is harnessed as we sit atop it. That's my theory. You don't have to buy it. I don't even know that I really buy it. But it is the one that keeps getting drilled in my head over there in the dreamland. So I do have to say it's got me intrigued in all ways. That stuff always has me intrigued. But you should think I'm crazy. Because look at me. You don't think I'm crazy? Of course you think I'm crazy. Come on, boss. Pause. Well, what I thought would be interesting is that we would drill down on, say, one or two of the things that are really, really keeping us at a throttled realization of the American dream, as it were. At least that which looks like this nation's freedoms and individual liberties therein that allow for the kind of republic of representation in government that is as close to serving the general populace at its most efficient and high aspiring. Gosh, I mean, how do you make up words about what we're not doing? It's hard to do, but obviously most of that is not exactly a description of what's really going on, because you can't have any of those higher aspirations with the level of, say, censorship that we have going on, or how much our free press has been bought by, well, mostly the pharmaceutical companies. But don't think that the Department of Defense doesn't have their hands all over the entire operation. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because we can trust the monopolies to do what's right by us and their corporate greed. That'll help the masses find their way and purpose and destiny in this soul wretched climate that we currently experience, right? Well, no, maybe some of that institutional churn of lobbyists into politicians, into K Street lawyers, into politicians, into lobbyists, into politicians, into judges, into whatever. All the insiders are bought. All the monopolies are against us. The free press is anything but. And censorship, I'm surprised this is still on YouTube, if we're being honest. And that has nothing to do with the incursion that Wall Street brings upon every single decision made against the individual American and their dashing dream as we speak. But these are just the things that I think are not necessarily going right. There's a lot of stuff going right, you know? Get a lot more shit delivered to your door now, like food-wise. That's going right. Pause. Pause. I mean, especially for those of us who fucking don't want to do anything that has to do with public interfacing, right? That shit's a godsend. Just drop that shit off, please. We see you. Sign yourself a 10% tip, and we really thank you for your delivery. Good night. Says my Nest doorbell. Pause. Pause. So which one should we attack in terms of keeping America from realizing its full potential? Should we do the bot politicians? Okay. Well, but then that's going to lead to Israel. Let's not get there tonight. How about monopolies? Monopolies. Monopolies is a good one. Let's start there. I'll be back to discuss monopolies with you in a minute. Pause.
Special unpause. Not that I'm not special. Just this unpause is rather pedestrian. Well, except that I'm going to actually follow through on something I said I would do. I'm going to tell you how many Mother's Day cards are purchased on Mother's Day, or for Mother's Day. I'm not sure they're all purchased on this specific holiday, this being the 12th of May, here now at 12:38 in the PM. But the answer to how many Mother's Day cards are sold annually is 113 million. 113 million. Between 3 and 7, well, anymore, between $5 and $15 cards. Let's just call it 5. So here on Mother's Day, we're really here to celebrate the fact that somewhere on this planet, there's a company called Hallmark who just cashed in roughly $500 million in sales. Because some schmuck who wanted Eggs Benedict with avocado and a host of other unexpected breakfast items thought, well, I'll make it all up to you by inventing Mother's Day. Or did some suit-wearing lawyer types up on Madison Avenue say to Hallmark Corporation one time, hey, Hallmark, I mean, yeah, we're digging what you're doing with the Thanksgiving cards. We really like what you got going on with Christmas. And I'll tell you what, that Valentine's Day, that shit's a stroke of genius. But since you went so far as to insinuate that people need a day set aside to tell their significant loved ones that they love them, I say we take that a step further. Mother's Day. I swear to God, I thought of it in the shower. I know. Well, no, I wasn't thinking of my mom in the shower. I was thinking of card selling occasions. And who better to give a card to than your mother? Okay, you're right, your father. Because who knows what to get their father on Father's Day. What a stupid day. I mean, don't get me wrong, dads. Not that I am one. But those of you who are dads, well, you're nowhere near as cool as mothers. I think it's fair you deserve your own day. One day. One day. Hell, and it's the day that the U.S. Open's played in golf. So it's like, it's already Father's Day, right? Pause. Sisterly on pause. Well, no, this is a very sisterly on pause because my sister was born on Father's Day and I was born near Father's Day. But nobody in my family was born in May. So, again, is that why we have Mother's Day? I mean, my mom's birthday's in August, so it's not like we're getting around to her until the end of the summer. So, I guess having her get a fake holiday to start off the good weather, well, I mean, if we ever see any good weather. Okay. Well, here's why I need to get rid of my cell phone. Because in just finding out that there are 113 million cards sold for Mother's Day, I also stumbled into the Google, okay, can we keep your attention for another 15 seconds? Can we keep it for 15 seconds after that? How about, can we keep your attention for 15 days? We can? Great. Because the next question you're going to want to know the answer to is, well, who gets the priority on Mother's Day? Listen to these fucking questions. What do people buy for mothers on Mother's Day? What can I sell at a Mother's Day stall? Who gets the priority on Mother's Day? What does every mother want on Mother's Day? Should husbands celebrate their wives or their mothers on Mother's Day? How can I make Mother's Day special? Oh my God. We're so dumb now. We go to some 5x7 screen and type in the words, how can I make Mother's Day special? And expect the AI algorithms to spit back, well, you give her this $90 floral bouquet, you dumbass. And no, we don't have an affiliate link with this. Okay, maybe we have an affiliate link, but so what, man? Gotta make a living. It's fucking America. Okay. And we did all the advertising, and we're the ones selling the cards, and we're just gonna get another couple $100 out of you today because we feel like taking it from you. Now, go tell your mother you love her, you fucking jerk. Pause. Pause. The priority considerations on Mother's Day, I love that they answer it as if a dude asked the fucking question. Because of course a motherfucking guy would ask, what's the priority arrangement on Mother's Day? I mean, am I supposed to mother my children? Is that the mother I celebrate? Or is it the one that burnt me out of her vagina? I just don't know. I mean, I'm barely involved with the family, so that feels weird. Let them go play games with mom while I go have some Eggs Benedict and cappuccinos. Yeah, whatever, Rick. Because apparently Google feels like it's their prerogative to say the priority considerations for Mother's Day are your own mother. And if you have children, hello, that could only be spoken to men. Their mother. Followed by any widowed mothers in your family, including grandmothers and aunts, followed by old maids who have no children and did not become mothers. Actually, you don't have to talk to them today. They're out. Well, it doesn't say that part, but I mean, let's face it, right? But etiquette doesn't require you to include everyone. Allow the rest of your family to take care of their own, says Swan. Apparently, we're getting our advice from a bird. Pause. Uninspiring on pause. Uninspiring because, of course, what's the next Google point of information? Survey reveals what moms really want for Mother's Day. Here on KPAX, whatever that is.
I'm going to guess it's either multiple orgasms or a fucking day to themselves. Let's see what it is. Oh, they want a day to themselves so they can go masturbate and have multiple orgasms. That's answer number 1. Followed by be taken out for a meal. Followed by some flowers. Followed by something handmade from the giver. Oh my God! You want me to put work into this? I was just going to get you a card. Which is the next answer. A gift card. Followed by a greeting card. Because, I mean, if you're going to give me a card, at least it could have a little ching on it, right? I mean, can I at least go to Dave & Buster's with this thing? I mean, what'd you give me here? Red Robin? Is that where we're going? Fucking Red Robin? And I guess Mom's paying. Happy Mother's Day. Boss. All right. I said we were going to get to the monopolies. And since we've already talked about children getting high on brownies, since we've already talked about masturbating before taking a nap, and since we've already talked about how little sexiness can ever be misrepresented in this recording environment, well, it feels like it's time to talk about monopolies. Okay, so my favorite thing about monopolies are that little dude in the game definitely had a goddamn monocle. There's no question. So if you want my top 10 Mandela effects that I know are fucked up, the fact that the Monopoly man never had a monocle, put that on the top 10. Put it right. Well, don't put it next to the JFK limo thing. Put it underneath that, but only like 4 spots, because in between there, I would definitely want to put some shit, but not the Berenstain Bears, because they're number 1. Obviously that happened. But then Kennedy happened, of course. Hello. And then I'm going to have to say Fruit of the Loom, because I wouldn't know what a cornucopia was if it wasn't in my fucking underwear protecting my Johnson. I know that much. Okay, so on Mother's Day, we've talked about my Johnson. We've talked about my sexiness, my lack of sexiness. We talked about masturbating and then napping. Well, sounds like any other day to me. What's all this Mother's Day hullabaloo? I don't even know. My mom's in the Caribbean, so like she cares. Did I mention I'm white? Pause. Unpause. I get it. You're listening, you're going, dude, why are you making this racial? Literally, why are you even bringing up that you're white? We know you're white. So you're just being redundant? Gratuitous? Unnecessary? You're being something. And whatever it is, it's even whiter than you think. Okay. Listen. The white part has a point, or I wouldn't be reinforcing it. Give me some credit. Maybe 1 or 2 times in 485 recordings, I might actually be setting up something that's coming at the end. Actually, I haven't done that. I mean, I might be doing it right now. But everything else has just been... What did I just say? Pause. On Mandela unpause. Oh, that would be a great unpause. Can you imagine not being Mandela affected? Well, then you could imagine there being 6 people in Kennedy's limo instead of 4. And that magic bullet theory, goes through another body, through another seat? I mean, come on, at some point the thing's ludicrous enough. We all know that Lee Harvey Oswald was watching a movie when he got pissed off at Kennedy and he turned around with an Italian rifle and he took 1 shot and bam, he blew Kennedy's head off. Probably accidentally, if I had to guess, because Lee Harvey Oswald did a lot of shit by mistake. So, kind of like getting murdered. I think he did that by mistake. But maybe he did that intentionally. It's hard to say. I mean, how deep into the CIA was he? Is there a CIA agent listening? If so, just email me the answer. I'll be cool with that. I did not want to talk about the CIA. I did not want to talk about Kennedy. I did not want to talk about Mandela. And I did not want to talk about the Berenstain Bears or Mark Fargenstein. But having cleared my entire ledger of superfluous, unnecessary, gratuitous glop,
Well, now we're here to talk about Monopoly. Not the game, the enterprise of dominating the market to such a point that you now control your own industry. And if this just sounds like business as usual in America, well, yeah, it does. Because you know what used to happen is we used to say, no, monopolies, no. We don't like them because they're only good for the people who actually own the monopoly. For everybody else, they're wretched. And when we thought we had gotten smarter than the actual age-old wisdom that we had passed down to us, well, I'm guessing it was the year 1964. If I had to put a day on it, I would probably put it in January, maybe around the 25th, but that's my dad's birthday, so we'll make it the 26th, say. January 26th, 1964 is the day that we decided we were smarter than conventional wisdom here in America. Why that day? I don't know. But what I would imagine is if anything were to result from us making a decision that, yeah, we can just do shit now like, you know, lie to the public. We can spread propaganda as if it's news. We can even pay the news stories to write stories about things that aren't news as if they are news, so people will think, that's the news? Taylor Swift got a caricature with her mom and that made the news? I mean, she is Taylor Swift, so I can kind of see that, but was she doing it at Knott's Berry Farm? I mean, honestly, does Taylor Swift not have a bigger life than to go to Knott's Berry Farm and get caricatures with her mom? That's like what poor white people do. Pause. Unpause. I only say that because I'm a poor white person who's gotten a caricature at Knott's Berry Farm, and I do not remember Taylor Swift being there. Nope. Nope, she wasn't there. Nope. So, again, if that's what's newsworthy, well then I guess I'll just get on Facebook and maybe have Amazon send me some shit so that I can go look up something on Google, and then my Apple iPhone will have done its job for the day. And I can wake up tomorrow and do it all over again. Because I work from home, which means I put in about 14 hours of real work in a 40-hour work week, and then spend the rest of that time looking up shit on Amazon, Facebook, Google, and my iPhone. I thought that's what we were all doing. Well, I know there are some people who still have to go to work. The unlucky among us who didn't figure out that COVID was your total get-out-of-jail-free card, and no more going out to work, and now I don't have to make eye contact with anyone because I just put up a caricature of myself on Zoom and say, sorry, I'm a little too indiscreet today to be putting up anything real. Here's my caricature. Pause. Untimely on pause. Well, not really untimely. It's now, what, 12:52? So, are we timely now? Okay, so if you're going to put your caricature up on Zoom for this group meeting, the only question we have for you is, well, how much did you pay for that caricature? I mean, it's not that it looks like you, but it totally looks like Tom Cruise, which we think's even better. So the fact that you're Top Gunning it instead of running your mouth like you do, well, we can live with that. Okay, I paid $55 for the caricature. Since you asked, okay, well, if today I buy the same caricature, well, why is it $95? It was $55. They were just here like 2 minutes. That was an hour ago. Your prices have doubled in an hour? Oh, fuck, I better get a caricature now or else it's going to be $300 if I go another bathroom break. Right? Well, only if I have the kind of caricature stable of artists and artisans and influence, and let's say that I just am Caricature King. Okay, well, call me Caricature King, and that'll be caricature with a K, because fuck yeah, do we like alliteration around here. So, Caricature King. And that is my caricature over there. Yeah, I swear to God, that's me. You can see me. Just go watch any of the first 125 episodes. That's me. And Does that say Knott's Berry Farm? I believe it does. Oh, this is all true. This is all fucking true. That's how fucking embarrassing it is. But Caricature King never gets embarrassed. Because if you're Caricature King, you're way past being embarrassed. You're in fact more like, who are those people that were taming the lions and shit and then one of them got eaten? Or anyway, it's like that level of American debauchery. So here I am. I am the guy that if you want to be a caricature artist, well, basically you come to me, because if you don't, I will find you. I will find you and I will put you so out of business, you'll be selling Subway sandwiches. Yeah, okay, they say they're artists, but they don't want caricatures. So you'll be through, buddy. Well, except for you'll be making some Baconators and some other shit, but you'll be through drawing pleasant caricatures of anyone who comes up and asks for one, because you only get to get a caricature if you come to me. And I know you're thinking, well, that's the dumbest thing you've probably ever said. And if we're making a list of top 100, think about that. You just said the dumbest thing you've ever said. Okay, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. You're right. But in the concept of monopoly, well, what's the difference? It matters not what you monopolize, whether it's screen alert time or texting my loved ones time or scrolling on Facebook time or twiddling my thumbs on TikTok time or God, what am I doing with my life? Googling time? Or you really are going to watch another video on YouTube time? Okay. These times that all of us are familiar with, these times are brought to you, for the most part, by companies who are desperately trying to monopolize your existence by their collecting and collating of your activities. And then taking all the predictive modeling that their AIs have come up with about what you're actually going to do with the rest of your life, which is, I suppose, mostly sit around and check the next update on your phone and wait for more food. But let's say the algorithms thought through that you might even go so far as to start a family. Wait, no, you're not going to start a family. You don't even leave the house. Let's say the algorithm has figured out that you may go so far as to decide to order bulk paper goods. They just can see that on your horizon. You're one of those people who's already tipped your toe in the bulk macaroni and cheese or the bulk Kleenex boxes or whatever, but you're about to go full bulk. And somehow the algorithm knows this. So what do you immediately start seeing? Amazon ads for 6-pack, 12-pack, 18-pack, 24-pack, 48-pack, hell, a goddamn ton of toilet paper, if you demand it from Amazon, will be delivered to your door tomorrow. And on Amazon Prime, that shit's only like $3,000. And if you work out what a ton of toilet paper is against $3,000, you should be buying that shit right now because you know you're going to use it, especially if another pandemic hits. You're going to be like, the Caricature King? Never heard of him, but the toilet paper king is totally the guy. That guy rules, right? Don't we all want to be needed by our communities? Don't we all want to be looked at as having had the insight to think ahead and get something done and take over the space that was here to be had? Or that's what monopoly holders will tell you they're up to. Well, you can't blame me for being the most innovative motherfucker on the block just because I've got all the good ideas and I get all the rewards for having all the good ideas doesn't mean that any of these motherfuckers deserve anything. Okay, monopolist. See, here's the thing. Once you give someone the sort of flex that comes with, say, owning the search engine space or something, right? Like, if you're going to go look something up online, there's going to be this thing called Google, and you're going to use it. Well, but Google did provide the best results at one point in time, way back when. And that is their argument that they deserve it. Hey, man, because only a man would question our authority to be here. But hey, man, if you think for a second that Internet Explorer or Netscape or Ask Jeeves or any of those other silly search engines from way back when, well, if you think any of them were as clever as us, well, then you think wrong. Because the cleverest are still here, and I don't even think Jeeves has been seen in a decade, let alone online. I think he might be dead. But Google, he's dead because you murdered him. Don't you remember when you killed, first you killed Netscape. Microsoft killed Netscape. Okay, which monopoly killed Netscape? When it came right down to it, Google, the reason we use Google is because you said, fuck you, we will purchase anybody that's a threat, and we will stomp out anybody that's just a nuisance. And soon, Google became synonymous with go look shit up online. And this isn't necessarily bad, except it's fucking horrible. Because what you used to be able to do on Google was see the universe. All of it. And it was completely available. And then, once the CIA realized, wait a second, there's no fucking way that we're going to let these people figure out that A, the moon landing was faked, B, the elections are rigged, and C, that we're kind of behind all of it. Once they thought, that cat's out of the bag, so now the only thing we can do is throw up a flare gun called Sandy Hook, and then go into Google's office and tell them, we got this. You guys get out of here. And Google said, okay, but here's the thing. You leave us in our offices and let us get paid inordinate sums of money for doing nothing innovative. And we'll let you pull all the levers from behind the door. Okay, wizard? To which the CIA said, but of course. Because what else does the CIA want but covert, non-involvement in everything? So you give the Google the power of search, and then they start to be so powerful that those who seek power come to them and decide how to abuse that power. Believe it or not, this is what monopolies are really good for. They will show you who the psychopaths are among us. Because the psychopaths see a monopoly and think, now, that. Talk about something I'd like to get my hands on. I'd like one of them. I'd like a monopoly, please. I will take clean water, sure. Water? Electrical energy, even better. Telecom? You're going to give me telecom? Are you really? Do I have to be in magenta? Can I have an airline instead? Come on, let me have an airline. Well, I know that sounds absurd, right? Who's going to give me a telecom so I can just go run it and have a monopoly? I'm not Verizon or T-Mobile see, AT&T's a weird one because we already AT&T'd them once and now they're back and, sheep in wolf's clothing, or if lions lay down with lambs, or whatever other Bible verses are changing, who cares, right? We still need cell phones, I think. Well, you do, I don't. But some people need smartphones. So if we're not going to actually have smartphone providers, then how are people going to get their smartphones? So the government creating an opportunity for telecom industries to flourish is not really anything other than creating a well-functioning society, which is what government's really here to do. So get off our backs about fucking electrical and water management and goddamn waste management and, okay,
food management and healthcare. And all right. So many of the industries we think of monopolies are what are natural monopolies. They just have to exist as a monopoly, or else it's an absurd situation. If we're not just generally paying our electrical bill all to the same company regionally, then we're just constantly getting Dallased. And what they went through with that $36,000 a day heating stuff, yeah, I'd actually rather have a regulated industry where I know I'm getting shafted for about 130% more than I should be, but that doesn't mean that they'll ever take the liberty to steal 3,000% more than they should from me. And, left unregulated, that's what monopolies do. They can hike the price to whatever they want. Who's competing with them? Who can tell them no? And since they have a service of need, you're going to pay what they demand. You can see this in our food industries. You can see this in our housing. You can see this in our choices when it comes to law and order. You can see this in every facet of American life. You, my friend, and I do consider you a friend at this point because you've listened this long, so if that doesn't make friendship, what does? You, my friend, and myself, and my sister, and that other person who listened to 2 episodes, the 4 of us are just taking it. We are getting shafted by the very forces here to tell us that that sort of shafting is just the way it is. Well, Mr. John Kirby, now that we've gotten through that whole genocide, well, did we get through that? No. Okay. We're just going to dismiss the genocide thing for a second. But, Mr. John Kirby, if I may ask, if I wanted to, say, start my own airline company, well, how many airplanes do I have to have before I can get some government help on that? I mean, don't you guys think that if I'm going to be flying people around this great country of ours, that maybe there should be some government subsidization of my activity because it's important for the welfare of the people? So, come on, give me a handout. Give me a handout. I want some money. Give me some money. Give me some love. Give me something. Come on. Okay. So it's not just the CIA whose attention you may inevitably draw, but it's the coziness that your power and status as a top contributor give you to sway government to then make more rules and regulations that favor you. Right, Facebook? I mean, the unfortunate thing with Facebook is they didn't actually have anything of value to offer. They had Mark Zuckerberg and an idea about putting up public billboard pages so that your family could see what you're up to, but then they'd had no more ideas. Meta. Meta. Nope, let's just buy another company and call it our innovation and then fucking pay ourselves some bonuses and get out from underneath all this government regulation and see if we can't just go live that adrenochrome life down on Epstein's Island or whatever Zuckerberg does in his free time. But if your stock value is going to tumble like it did in 2023 for, was it 2022? Is it that long ago? If Facebook turns out to be the fanciful monopoly that really never existed because they didn't have anything worth monopolizing, well, Google is not the same. And back when you used to Google stuff and you had this window to the universe, you could spend hours literally surfing the web. That's what we called it because we all kind of like to be a little California. So surfing the web became a thing that didn't exist in, say, 1988, but it definitely existed in 1998, and boy, did it exist in 2008. And then in 2018, it was gone again. Nobody surfs the web. Why would you? Because Google has, well, okay. Should we call it Google or should we call it the CIA? Does it matter? The CIA has decided what is there available for you to find versus what used to be there, which was everything in the universe. And I know you're saying, well, wait a second, but we can still find that stuff, right? It still exists. Well, yeah, of course it still exists. You can 100% go learn right now that Sandy Hook was bullshit. But it's going to be a lot harder to do that than it was in the year 2013, when it was actually extremely easy to do that, and a lot of people were figuring it out. And then a lot of people were getting silenced and killed, which I guess is kind of the same thing. But having brought up the Sandy Hook issue again, I know I'm about to get kicked off YouTube. Or at the very least, I'm going to not be found in the Google results, because then you might learn, wait a second, what's he talking about, Sandy Hook? And then go start looking for yourself, and then all of a sudden now you're a problem and the CIA's got to silence you. And that climate of, well, I ain't doing anything wrong. It's not like I was involved in Sandy Hook. I watched it from my fucking house. How can they come after me about Sandy Hook? Well, see, the CIA does not like to admit when they fuck things up. And they do it so often that what they're really good at is lying about everything you can imagine. Everything. Everything is a lie. All of it. But to keep you from realizing that, well, they do things like push the narrative of Sandy Hook way off the back pages so that you can't find it. They do the same thing with our current birth crisis. They do the same thing with our current economic crisis. They do the same thing with our current crisis of that heating up the oceans. They do the same thing with that crisis about people figuring out that there's no fucking way we went to the moon. They do the same thing about figuring out everything. And so if you monopolize caricature drawings, well, your reach can only go so far as to the universe that includes people who want caricature portraits or want to pay for one for a family member or just some random stranger. All of that hullabaloo is minimal. I mean, it's impactful because we can't allow caricature artistry to become the kind of thing that, unless you can see the caricature king, and don't be surprised when he puts you, well, not to say that there's a casting couch in the caricature king's office, but you know how it is, man. Guy controls the business, so you want to be up here on the front line doing the real artistry, well, you got to play some ball. Am I literally now talking about that Hollywood prick, the producer? Or what's his name? The Me Too guy? The one who apparently, if you wanted to be in any movie produced by, God, why can't I think of their names? Pause. Harvey. Mr. Weinstein. You know what got me there? I remembered Rose McGowan. I actually worked with Rose McGowan's brother at a restaurant in Portland, Oregon. And while I only met Rose McGowan one time as she walked in to pick up her brother, I've always thought, oh my God, that was seriously one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life. And so, because Rose McGowan earned my respect via a somewhat distant relationship I had with her brother, well, when I heard that Harvey Weinstein had casting couched her and she said, fuck you, Mr. Weinstein, I will trash my Hollywood career right here after Scream 2, 3, 4, whichever one she was in, and do it willingly, because doing what you're telling me to do, again, fuck you, Mr. Weinstein. And then, me too, me too, me too. Me 3 million, me 3 trillion. It was as unexpected a movement in proper recognition of victimhood status. Okay, I'm going to clean this up a little bit, because never have I ever dated someone for between 8 months and 20 months that they haven't relayed to me the type of story that
freaks me out because of the amount of harassment that is just built into the life of women from men. And okay, this is a thorny issue to say the least, because without somebody being the proactive initiator of whatever Congress creates children we can think of, well, the species doesn't persist. But having said that, there are many ways to somehow get inevitably to those points of consideration and conversation. But the thing with dudes is sometimes, and this can happen to almost any dude, unfortunately, which is why women have such a veneer of protection at all times, but they can sometimes think, well, that this is their right. This is somehow their obligation as a human species participant of the male gender is sow seed. So come here, fertile land, and let me drop seed. And that, Henry Weinstein, Harvey Weinstein, whatever the fuck your name is, when taken to the level of coercion for opportunities or for any other exchange of power, well, it's the soul-sucking activity of all. If you, in any capacity, think it's okay to use influence, authority, power, or another dynamic of structural imbalance to take from those over whom you have shade to throw something that they do not want to give, well, you get to come back to Earth again and 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 again. In fact, I don't know if you ever get to leave Earth. So the idea that we are here to learn lessons, well, we're also here to learn from each other. And if you had spent any kind of time discussing life history with more than 4 women, you were going to be appalled at least what 3 of them had to tell you somewhere back in their past about being threatened or taken advantage of by a man. Because everybody's got a story, if not a horror show of events to share. So the idea that women were making this up, well, that might be the single most misogynist reaction that you can come up with. Okay, yeah, a lot of you are complaining about us. Like we believe you. Pause. So then what monopoly are we now discussing? Well, whichever one it is, I bet it didn't bring a monocle. Nope, no monocle. Pause. All right. Unflattering unpause. Justified unpause. Hindered? No, I'm definitely hindered. But I'm hindered by this list of shit I have about monopolies that I have yet to share. So being now, I'm going to guess about almost an hour into this thing. Oh my God, how tedious can I get? Remember, I told you multiple times, eject, grab parachute, jump out of plane, and go live life in the adventure-driven, internal, fortifying, destiny-realizing capacity that you were supposed to. Or fucking let it go another day, listen to me, wander off into the desert of bad ideas and worse ways of presenting them. And then maybe this whole thing about monopolies won't have ruined your day. But again, who are you? Who are you if this isn't ruining your day? I mean, it's ruining my day, and I'm the one doing it. So let's finish off these monopoly discussions so I can go work out and at least feel like I got something done today that was productive. Not that I enjoy talking to you. I just wish there was more of you here. And since that's impossible, well then, again, why aren't you jumping out of an airplane?
because the prices to jump out of an airplane today are so ridiculous. I mean, it's like 3 weeks worth of food, so it's like $1,200. Okay. Well, monopolies definitely drive prices up. If you only have 2 people selling you food, do you know what makes those 2 people very, 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 very smart? Talking to each other behind your back and deciding, you know what we're going to start selling Oreos for? $9. I know it was $2.65 yesterday, but they're going to be $9 tomorrow. You should do the same. Because then what are they going to do? They don't have a choice. Monopolies encourage people to do things that are bad. Like gouge you for all you got. Because, again, there's no stopping them. Once they are enabled, take everything that isn't nailed to the fucking floor, they will. They will literally steal from your grandmother, your mother, and your children's mother. If you have children and you're a dude. They will do it on Mother's Day. I think we've already illustrated that point. They will do it on Father's Day. Will they? Yeah. Yeah, that's how bad they are. They'll do it on Christmas. I mean, if you think about it, well, let's not think about that. So, less spending authority do you have in this reality because we have allowed monopolies to not just emerge, but to dominate a great deal of American culture. Right, Amazon? I'm sorry. Right, Amazon Prime? Gotta get your Amazon Prime. I am proud to not have Amazon Prime, mostly because I don't have any money, but also because fuck Amazon. And Amazon hears that and says, okay, fuck Amazon. But you know what Amazon's doing? Well, we're fucking everybody else. Because once you've given the kind of market share that Amazon has in terms of goods and distribution, well then they just start to dominate all aspects of goods and distribution. There is no alternative to Amazon because Amazon is the player who will wipe out the field. There will be no competition. Amazon will make sure of it. And since we're allowing it, well, I'm going to name my next dog Amazon, my next cat Amazon, and a fish Amazon. And then I'm going to change my name officially to am.a.zani. Nope, I'm going to leave it at Amazon. It's going to get confusing with the fish, but that's okay. I'd rather be part of the group than say some schmuck called pause. Unpause. I knew it would come to this, that we'd be here somewhere over an hour and I'd be alone. Because if I haven't driven every listener away at this point, well, I'm about to. So there's your warning. If, God forbid, you are still here, all I can say is, I don't even feel for you anymore. I just think you should get some help. But while you're going to find that source of help on Google, do this for me. Realize that when antitrust laws were created in the 1890s, 1900s, it was in reaction to what Standard Oil, an energy company, another natural monopoly, had done to market share, where they were controlling 93% of the oil transactions happening in America. And we said, whoa, so that's why we're paying more for our heating bill than we are paying for our national defense budget? Yeah, that's why. Because we let Standard Oil become an energy monopoly. It was such a corrupting force in our nation's welfare
that we determined no more monopolies. That's it. No more. And we even went so far as to tell AT&T, you know what, AT&T? You're a fucking monopoly. And you know what, Microsoft? You're acting like one too. So don't make us AT&T you. Right? Ma Bell and XL and Southern Bell and whatever other bells you became. If we, the people, care enough to stand up for principles that are good for all of us, well, then we can do the things we've done in the past, like tell Google, enough. You've throttled our information to the point you're turning us into morons. And while, yes, CIA, we know this is intentional, that doesn't mean we're going to take it standing down. In fact, we're going to take it standing up. And as we stand up in Congress and say no more, believe it or not, that voice gets listened to. But as we sit alone, looking at our phones, finding the app that'll update when my food will be here. Oh, 4 minutes. Good. Good. Hey, 4 minutes. All right. All right. 4 minutes. In 4 minutes, when I get my, wait, what is it? Dine Dash? DoorDash? I don't even know what it is. I've never once ordered food to my house other than pizza. Because I just don't find the isolation, the service, the I'm not doing this for myself aspect of it to be fulfilling. I do not want to order my groceries and have them delivered because I actually like to pick out the green pepper I'm going to eat personally. I also like the camaraderie of shopping with other people. I also like the engagement of saying hello to the cashier. I even like the, hey, I hope you didn't notice that I put those dots in my pocket. Farewell to the security guard. I am the kind of engaging human being that is so frustrated with the digitization of my life that I'm ready to purge my smartphone from my very existence. Enough. I want real people again. I want real experiences. And I want them with you. Because as we get back into enjoying the company that it is to be a member of humanity among a whole swath full of humans, well, maybe for once, we'll remember how good we had it. And for those of you who were unfortunate enough to be born into this world of digital technology and no privacy, no interactivity except whatever transactional interactivity is available for any given dopamine hit of the moment, well, we didn't always feel this broken. In fact, most of my first 25 years on this planet, I thought humanity was I thought humanity was the greatest thing the universe had created. I thought we were the force of creativity and collective possibility that other civilizations would sing songs about, would write books about, and would forever praise the greatness that was humanity. And I mean, I'm an atheist and all kinds of other stuff, but I knew what we were doing was right, was for the good, and had purpose, and was building a world that everyone could feel a little bit of pride within. Even as we untangled the Civil Rights Acts, even as we were finally saying to women, okay, fine, you want to be men? Go be men. We'll see how you do. Even as we were telling those of us who were the most confused that it was okay. That if you had enough belief in the goodness of all of us, that inevitably it all worked out. But then I hit 26, which would be in dog years 1997. No, sorry, 1995. And yeah, that's about right. It was the year before Clinton was reelected. And once he was in office with no concerns whatsoever, well, he sold out America's middle class. And then George Bush came in and sold out our reputation worldwide. And then Barack Obama came in and just sold out. And then Donald Trump came in. And, well, he was a sellout, so he actually was something refreshing because all he was a deer in the headlights. And now we have Uncle Joe, the least capable president I can not only imagine, but the least capable president that will ever rise to the top of the American political system. We are stuck with the worst of the worst. So what happened? Where did we decide that we just weren't worth going for the best, that we would settle for this? Was it when Facebook created the like button? Was it when Google told you that Forbes, Vanity Fair, New York Times, and The Guardian are the only resources that even exist anymore? I don't know why you keep looking for all those forums from the 2000s. Yeah, like those still exist. Well, there was a time when the internet looked like the kind of place that was going to revolutionize society for the better. But then, the monopoly of Google, well, you can see where monopolies get us. They get us isolated, depressed, thinking of suicide, and having no idea where to turn to make things better. And since the one thing I can think that would make everything better is to put our cell phones down, walk outside, and introduce ourselves to people, well, I think that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to randomly go introduce myself to 5 people, and in so doing, I'm going to explain to them that I cannot take another minute of interpreting the world through a digital screen. I just need some human contact. And I'll bet 4 out of 5 of those people agree with me. But that 5th one, he's like that dentist that says, "Eat sugary gum. Otherwise, what kind of career do I have? I'll end up being a caricature artist or something." Wanted unpause. Okay, I do want to unpause this because as much as I would like to end it with that circuitous route back to caricature artistry, I can't. Because while there are quite a few mothers in this world who I'm sure have had to put up with some nonsense from their children, I don't know too many mothers who have been put through the level of nonsense that I put my mother through. And so, hello, Donna, you crazy world traveler, you that left me alone on Mother's Day so I could just mess this whole thing up for an hour and 10 minutes. But, Mom, I have nothing but the highest regard for the number of times you have sheltered me from my own misgivings. The number of times that you have allowed me to misstep, restep, and misstep all over again. And the amount of patience and understanding and once in a while kindness. I mean, if we're being fair, and I think you know that I'm being fair here. But that patience and understanding, well, I learned that from you. And I consider those things to be some of the most valuable components of my being that I rely on. And I don't imagine there will ever be a time, whether it be in the ethereal or here, that I won't thank the Lord above
that the one mother I was lucky enough to get was you.
So happy Mother's Day, Mom.
I love you, and I know you love me. And with you and Emily out gallivanting across the Caribbean, well, that's good enough. As long as you're happy, fulfilling your life in a way that still feels purposeful, then, I mean, I guess I'll keep up with the nonsense part, right? Happy Mother's Day, Mom.